And I was like, wow, thank
Ja,
you. I will. Hallo, Vijay. Wie geht's?
hallo. Ja, ich bin
Hallo.
gut, danke.
Alles klar, alles klar.
Ja.
You literally went to Germany and just became the most German. Then you were like, I'm going to work in the tallest building in Munich. I'm going to also work for Volkswagen. And tell me one more German thing.
And I worked at Siemens.
Ah! This is your first Web3 business.
In Web3, things are like exact opposite to what I have been doing in my entire career. Businesses happen through Telegram, businesses happen through Discord.
Most successful token sale on Coinlist in history. Your community has been absolutely going nuts over this.
We were able to do the fastest sale ever on Coinlist. So we spent quality time, we met people in person, we conducted real life events. And that has resulted in what one of the most diverse sales in the history of Coinlist, right? Getting there was a dream, but not doing the sale in 24 minutes. We raised $3.85 million, which translates
Amazing.
to literally 160K every minute. If anybody asks, what is bitsCrunch? And say, trading view of Web2. To give customers a decision making ability is what we do. Let's say if Dina wants to invest on these and these tokens and these NFTs, we help you make your decision making better as we provide data backed insights. We worked with Mastercard, we worked with EY, Ernst and Young. We received the Best
Wow.
Impact Startup Award from Germany, from PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers here in Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
So, with just 2 years of inception, the amount of Web2 companies that we have worked with, I'm really proud of the team.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Decoded by Divers. Today, we're going to be speaking with Vijay Pravin, the founder and CEO of bitsCrunch. Hi, Vijay. Welcome to Decoded. So happy to have you here.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Dina. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure talking in Decoded, where some of the best minds have spoken before. So yeah,
Uh,
so glad to be here.
well, you'll be the next, inspiration to most. I want to start this off by asking you about yourself. So I want to know your background before
Mhm,
bitsCrunch, before Web3. I want to
mhm.
hear about, how you even, got into the space in the first place.
I come from south of India, from Chennai in India, and I moved to Munich, Germany. That is where I currently live. Not a lot of people know that in this space.
Oh,
So I'm based in Munich for the last 10 and a half years now.
I was there.
Ah,
This is
okay.
where I studied. I know we've talked about this. We've both indulged in the German life, but you've lasted a lot longer than me.
So I came here to do my master's. Did my master's in TU Munich, Technical University of Munich, one of the
What
top
one
ones.
of the best.
One of the best, one of the best, one of the toughest, I would say,
Yes.
to pass. And having graduated my electrical engineering in my master's degree from TU Munich, I worked with. I started at Telefonica, the O2, the brand
Yeah.
O2, the tallest building in Munich. How can you forget that?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
basically something every tourist has to go and see.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, O2, and I then worked briefly at Volkswagen. You can find Volkswagen cars pretty much everywhere in Germany.
You literally went to Germany and just became the most German. Then you were like, I'm going to work in the tallest building in Munich. I'm going to also work for Volkswagen. And tell me one more German thing.
And I worked at Siemens.
Ah!
I'm the
So
OG.
just so you just went German through and through.
Yeah. I was with Siemens for almost 4 years. I was another
Wow.
OG in the Web2 space. 100 plus year old company that everybody knows.
Amazing.
They are
Yes.
everywhere. I believe they also did a transaction on blockchain using Polygon. Not sure if that's right. But
I think
Siemens,
I'll have to check. I have a friend who works in Siemens as well, one of my close friends. But obviously Siemens is a huge company, so there's a
oof,
like
yeah,
the amount of like different departments that have nothing to do with each other.
yeah,
It's pretty,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, graduated and then worked at three different companies, majorly at Telefonica and Siemens, 4 years each, 3.5 years to 4 years each. And then during pandemic, when the doors were locked, when everybody was locked in, that is when I decided to start up. I got along with my friends, spoke about this idea of data analytics, and forensics, which is decentralized. That's when we came up with an idea called bitsCrunch. I mean, our brand tells what we do by itself. We crunch each and every bits of data behind blockchain. So we wanted to start with NFTs, started this journey, and now in like almost 3 years have gone by, and we
Hmm.
are at the verge of several records, shattering records, which we will talk pretty soon.
Yes, I'm very excited to get into those actually. Let's try to
Mm,
make it simplified as much as possible for those listeners not so familiar with Web3 as an industry. What is bitsCrunch?
mm. Like I just said, we crunch each and every bits of data. So I'm
Yeah,
always a big fan of two words clubbed together. I look at
yeah,
Microsoft. Micro is a word, soft is a word. The former name of Meta was Facebook, face plus book. So I was
yeah.
always fascinated by those two words clubbed together, which could possibly become a huge brand. I mean, that is how we started, and we
Hmm.
wanted to find a name that resonates with what we do.
Obviously, crunching the bits of data
Mhm.
from someone who maybe won't understand that. How would
Mm.
you explain what bitsCrunch does?
So blockchain is not human readable, right? I mean, look at the wallet. Everybody has to look at a big alphanumeric numbers that is out there, and each and every transaction. So look at the bank data. You have a transaction description, you have a transaction PDF or copy, and then you have a buyer, seller, or whatever, which are
Yeah,
human readable. But in
yeah.
blockchain, it is not the case, and especially there are firms that can decode or that can help decode a lot of things already in the space. But one thing that we realized is forensics was missing, especially as a decentralized component. So by that, what I mean is, let's say if Dina or Vijay uh, gets rug pulled or loses something in the
Mhm,
mix of exploring something in blockchain or NFTs,
mhm.
it's really hard for an individual or for a business to dive deeper, dig into it, and find where exactly the money went, what happened, and so on. So most of the entities now we have are pretty much centralized. I'll talk about those competitors. I wouldn't see them as competitors because anyways we are decentralized.
Mhm.
So to give customers a decision making ability is what we do. Let's say if Dina wants to invest on these and these tokens and these NFTs, we help you make your decision making better as we provide data backed insights. So
That's
in a way, it's
interesting.
like a trading view of Web 2.
Yeah,
That's exactly what we do for Web 3.
I think that's very cool. I know today we've got tens of thousands of tokens, NFTs, and I think it leaves a lot of room for people or users, especially new to the industry, even those who are familiar with the industry, to get scammed. So that's been a huge issue, and I think that's a big reason why people are so afraid of getting into crypto is because they just assume they'll get scammed because it happens to everyone. It happens to the best of
Mhm.
us. So in terms
Mhm.
of the readability, how will you guys be able to, as bitsCrunch, help prevent this with the data that you provide?
I find a strong correlation between the early internet days and this blockchain days, right? I mean, when the whole internet started, it was a similar case. People were generating random websites where they ask people to click on certain links, and then they drain the bank accounts or they drain valid information, right? Which was a normal scenario back in days, and now I see the same case repeating in blockchain as well. So whenever there is a change, whenever there is a new upgrade, you can always expect this, right?
Yeah.
You can definitely
Yeah.
expect this. And we at bitsCrunch, we help look at NFTs as a digital asset from a 360-degree perspective. So we look into wash trading. I can explain what is that in detail. We look into money laundering, money that is involved in digital assets, and we look at copycats of NFTs because look,
Mhm.
decoder, divers, you have a brand icon, you have a IP for that.
Yeah.
And if somebody uses diverse logo or decoded name in their NFTs to make money, what can you do? Yeah,
No.
you can do nothing, just watching it, right? So we
Hmm.
help brands protect their IPs in the digital realm. And another thing that we do is we also help artists and businesses estimating the fair price of an NFT, a digital asset.
Interesting.
So
I think
right now,
a lot of people will be very unhappy with that when you start telling them it's not worth what you say it is.
yeah, exactly. I mean, right now people rely on floor price heavily,
Yeah.
which is one of the metrics that people picked up in the last cycle. But I would say floor price can be looked upon, but it shouldn't be the only metric where people should rely on, because that's something that you can bring the Eminems of the world, the big guys of the world, and then if they ape into it, you can easily see the floor price going up, right? So it can be a metric. It's good to see floor price, but what we do is we use AI, artificial intelligence, to also estimate the price of an NFT. And remember, we don't use AI for the sake of using AI, because that's what everybody is using now. But
Yeah.
go back to the inception of bitsCrunch back in 2021, 2022. We were talking about AI all along. So it's not just because of
Not the
the
trend.
dearly brother Sam Altman and boys, but it's been the case since we formed bitsCrunch.
I mean, that's funny because when you mention how people used to get scammed in Web 2, the one thing
Mhm.
I always think of is the Nigerian prince scam, where you get the email
Uh,
and it's
uh,
like, "Oh, I'll pay you back," or whatever. So it's quite funny to think
uh,
about how people would get scammed by that. But now it's interesting because as much as you're gonna be using AI to help prevent future scams, a lot of people are using AI to actually enhance their scamming. So
mhm.
um, it kind of it's a very interesting
In,
dynamic.
exactly. In short, we are like the police of NFTs. I mean, if anybody asks what is BitsCrunch, and say we are the police, we are the military of NFTs. In short.
A lot of people are afraid of the popo, so I don't know how they're gonna take it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
mean, in a way, we wanted to secure the ecosystem, and only if you secure the ecosystem, you can expect millions or billions of people getting on board, right? I mean,
mhm.
why do we have antiviruses for the computers,
Yeah,
right? Because there are a lot of malwares, there were a lot of malicious softwares that can be plugged into your computer, and that's why we have antiviruses. So think of us like an antivirus of a PC.
most successful token sale on Coinlist in history. So tell me about that experience with your 24-minute sellout. I need to hear firsthand how that whole process was.
Yeah, it was indeed a surreal feeling, Dina. I mean, we were all at the office here in Munich. It was indeed late night in India. We have a handful of guys working from India. We have people
Mhm.
from South Korea, Barcelona. Everybody was tuned into the call. We were all in the conference call. People were trying in parallel to get into the queue, and we were able to do the fastest sale ever on CoinList in the history since Coinlist got into the game. Getting there was a dream, but not doing the sale in 24 minutes. Definitely, that was definitely not in the minds. We raised $3.85 million, which translates
Amazing.
to literally 160K every minute. So
Congratulations.
thanks a lot. And what's more interesting, the diversity. So in fact, we have had registrations from 163 countries in the world. I mean,
Wow.
you being in the PR and the community space,
100%. Your community has been absolutely going nuts over this. This is your first Web3 business. So I'm sure the entire concept of a community will make or break your project.
yep.
That is like, that is something that everyone will come to terms with as soon as they're in the industry. I want to know about your experience with establishing, that relationship with the community.
In Web3, things are like exact opposite to what I have been doing in my entire career. Volkswagen, Siemens to German OGs, businesses happen through Telegram, businesses happen through Discord, and whereas back in days, I used to get a response for my email with Siemens or Volkswagen. The usual response time is 48, 72 hours for each and every emails. And here it's
Mhm.
quite the opposite, where people are always pumped up. You could literally see the energy through the text.
Yeah.
If text message has a face, then that is, I would say it's Web3, right? People
Yeah.
always hustle, always keep up their energy. Even during the bear market, people were always hopeful of things turning positive. That is one thing that I really loved about the community. And building in front of the community, like you said, it's like sitting on the knife edge. It
Mhm.
can go wrong or it can go positive. At the beginning, it was tough. It was tough to manage the community, manage their expectations, because we raised our seed in 2021 and we raised
Okay.
our private round in 2022. January or February, we released the press release where Animoca brands, Coinbase, Polygon, and Chainlink, all these guys backed us. So the expectations of a token was there right from 2022 beginning. So to make them understand, we have to create a product, create a community, bring customers, make them use our product, and then go for a token is something that was really challenging, because whenever we used to do a meetup or a community town hall, they'll be like,
Mhm.
when is the token? When is the TG?
Of
When can I
course.
expect this? So to keep them engaging for such a long period, like what's it has been what 48 months or even more of period of waiting. And we as founders, we as a team, we can wait because it's our protocol, it's our product. We can slowly keep doing it, and it's not a switch, right? It's not a switch where if you turn it on, the lights are on. No, it is software. It takes time to build. It takes energy to build. It takes so many people to build it. So to make
Mhm.
them understand was tough. And I'm glad, even though our community is not massive, because I see some communities have 200,000, 300,000, or 400,000 followers, right? But we, on the other hand, we are simple, small, 50K on Twitter, 50K on Discord, and if you sum up all the others, it's like in total 150K, which is
So
still a lot.
it's I think it's also the quality of your community members.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the thing that we are grateful of, right? I mean, you can easily form members in Web3. You know the game, having been in this game. There are tools or engagement platforms like Galaxy, Zeely, Crew3, Interact,
Mhm.
and so many other platforms where you can conduct various engagement activities for farming communities. We did that. I mean, I wouldn't say we never did that, but that was not always the focus. So we spent quality time. We met people in person. We conducted real life events, and that has resulted in what one of the most diverse sales in the history of Coinlist, right? Even though we are a small community, they were even surprised to see these many registrations from these many countries. And then look at that. If you, I mean, Coinlist already blocks certain jurisdictions and countries from
Yeah, I was gonna say.
US is not allowed, Canada is not allowed, China, South Korea, North Korea. So these countries are already banned. And if you take out the ban, then it's literally one from each country has registered for the sale.
Tell me about, like, living in Germany and having the team in Germany. How's that been for you? My
Germany has
old
always
home.
and Germany has always been one of the strict or regulatory legal country, right? One thing that I really liked about Germany is the quality of life, work-life balance, I would say. When I was with Siemens and Volkswagen, I
Of
still had a lot of time to explore other things,
I
right?
loved it. I loved working in Germany. It was
Yes.
perfect because they cut off obviously, as I log into the computer, it would tell me the hours that I've worked, and then when I've completed my weekly hours, even if I'm not done with work, it will cut me off and say, like, "Have a nice weekend." And I was like, "Wow, thank
Yeah,
you. I will." In
yeah,
Web3, that no longer exists.
yeah. That's been the blessing of living here. My work time at Siemens was 35 hours per week, and
What a
I'm sure
dream.
I mean, not anymore, not anymore. Because
Of
as a
course.
founder, as a startup now, we have to work more, work harder, which goes without saying. But having lived the dream in the past, my Volkswagen work contract was 35 hours a week. Siemens was 35
Beautiful.
hours a week, and 35 was
Wonderful.
literally like 7 hours a day, right? Seven or if you do eight, mostly Germans they don't work on Fridays, or they take
Exactly. I
off.
was gonna say. Yeah, everyone does their 8 hours until Friday comes and they're done halfway through the day and it's like they have 2 days and a half on the weekend. I did
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, when I was getting into this work culture here in Germany, I was like literally shocked because in Fridays, people come early, 7 or 8, and then they leave at 11:30, 12. They backpack, they do trekking, hiking, skiing, whatever. And I was
Oh
like,
my god.
dude, it's still 2.5 days left.
Yeah, and they do trips. You could do because this is also the beauty of being in Munich is like you're very, you could go down to like Steinberg is yes, or Königssee. Have you
Konigsee,
been?
yeah, Konig.
Beautiful
Konig
place.
means Konig means
King,
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 king.
I know. And there's Königsplatz,
Yes, Königsplatz is a
the
U-Bahn in
station.
Munich. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's really the case, right? I mean, Munich is also probably the most centric, one of the centric points here in Europe, and that has also given me chance to travel. I have been to close to 40 countries so far. So I love travel.
Did you get the German passport?
Pretty soon.
Oh,
Uh,
that was
yeah.
my more key thing where I was like, if I stay in Germany, I could get the passport because I have the Egyptian passport and
Okay.
you do you only have the Indian passport?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
you know the struggle.
Yep. 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 I mean, it's always a case, but glad I could travel within Europe everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I've been to most of the European countries, to the north, to the Laplands, to the
I
Nordic
would
nations.
I'd hope so. You've been there over 10 years. I was
Yes.
there 3 years. I didn't get to do so much traveling being like a student and then working and then I
Mhm.
was just trying to get, my life started. So I really made a mistake with that.
I mean,
But
never
I'll
too
go
late.
back.
Never
Yeah,
too
yeah, I'll
late.
go I can do it. We'll come celebrate Oktoberfest and then do
Yes.
like a little yeah, so that will be good.
Drindle. Bring your own drindle.
I still have it. It just hopefully I might need a new I think I should get a new one to be fair, because it's a bit old. But, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, Oktoberfest. Yeah. I mean, how come we forget Oktoberfest? It's one of the most popular
The most
gatherings in the
famous
world. Most
Oh,
famous.
wow. I never forget it. I went every year while I was there, so I think it was 3 years. So each of
Mhm.
those times, I was just always surprised by the turnout from everyone in the world. There was the Australians, and you could spot them, the
Mm.
Australians, the Brits, the, the Italians. They'd just come in as like a clan in their own little communities, ironically
Yeah.
communities, seeing them in each tent it was quite nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Amazing. I mean, you should definitely visit Oktoberfest next year.
yes, we'll get some tables, we'll have a great time.
Yeah,
Um,
we had a table this year. We had a couple of tables. We invited our investors, partners, and customers. It was a little closed room party. But now, having been there, done that, we know how to get tables for the upcoming years.
Perfect. We're ready. We'll be there. Thank you.
Yeah,
I've invited our team. But,
awesome.
I'd say for last couple of questions I wanna find out from you. So tell me about your plans for the bitsCrunch platform over the next coming years. I know you guys have been building for the last couple of years and,
Mhm,
you've done an incredible job so far. What is your plan over the next couple of years for
mhm.
bitsCrunch?
Yeah, so we wanted to decentralize a lot of data, make access to data as simple as possible. So, like this sale that attracted people from 163 countries. We want
Mhm.
people from anywhere sitting in the world, anywhere in the world, just with the use of wallet, with a few clicks, they are able to get access to our data, be it dashboards, be it data, be it visualization, be it APIs. Let's say if you are a developer, you can get access
Mhm.
to our API keys within 24 to 48 hours. So that is something that we want users to get into, deep dive into data, build their own charts. Look at our customers now. We have DAP Radar, one of the big
Mhm.
names in the industry. They are our paying customers, one of our blue chip customers. So we want
Wow.
all the other data providers to use bitsCrunch. We want the Dune analytics, we want the Nansens, we want the chain analysis and elliptics of the world to also come and build on top of what we have built, or the vice versa. We can use their data, build on top of what we have. So that's what we wanted to do, and that is why we went with the decentralized approach. We want to support a lot of brands coming into NFTs. Look at brands: Pepsi,
Mhm.
Reebok, Adidas, Nike,
Mhm.
Hermes, Tiffany and Co. All these brands are getting into NFTs, and we want to protect those IP in the space. And yeah, let's onboard millions or billions of users into blockchain using bitsCrunch.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
100%. Is bitsCrunch as a platform going to be accessible globally to all the countries?
Yes. So that's something that we want to stress on. I mean, no matter where you are, you get that access to the data. I mean,
Mhm.
airdrops might not be possible for all because again, we have to abide by certain rules and regulations, of course. But then at the end of the day, accessibility to data is something that we want. No matter where you are, what you do,
Mhm.
we want to provide data.
How can people get involved with the bitsCrunch platform?
I mean, they can definitely follow bitsCrunch on Twitter. It's just bits, BITS Crunch on Twitter. Or if they want to follow me personally, it's Vijay Pravin, both my first names clubbed together at the M at the
We'll
end.
put them in the we'll put them in the description. I hate
Yes.
when people do this, but I'm gonna just yeah. But we will put all the links in the description below. But is there anything
Sure.
anyone should know about in the process that they should
Yeah, so we have a community program. We have a couple of really interesting roles that also will give them incentivization, will give them rewards in tokens. So there is a contributor role where people can chip in, help in labeling, help in data, and then they get rewards in tokens. So yeah, look at our Medium blogs and
Mhm.
join our Discord. These are places where you can find all the most up-to-date information about bitsCrunch.
Thanks so much for joining me on Decoded. It was an absolute pleasure to host you.
Thanks a lot, and yeah, pleasure talking to you.
Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Decoded by Diverse. That was Vijay Pravin, and anyone who wants to know any more information on bitsCrunch or Vijay himself, you can take a look at the links in the description below. Cringe. Um, cringe. No, cut that out. Bye bye. Masalema. Au revoir. Tschüss. Because, he lives in Munich. Tschüss.